Why don't you say what's on your mind now? Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water, let it flow. You was stuck, that original. If you didn't know, they don't make them like you. No, not anymore. Give it all you got. Leave it on the floor. Ain't no holding back. When you in the mode. What are we saying? You ain't playing. PM to the AM. Put that work in, only way you getting on. If they asking what it is you really want, why don't you say what's on your mind now? Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water. Let it say what's on your mind now. Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water, let it flow. If they draw the line, then you make a stand. If they standing still, show them how to dance. Put your name on it, that right there's a monogram. Got one life to live, go ahead, take a chance. What are we doing? Keep it moving, limitation be illusion. Put that work in cause the future's in your hand. It's your time, gotta do it cause you can. Why don't you say what's on your mind now? Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water. Let it say what's on your mind now. Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now.
All right, we are live. Hi, everyone. It's so great to have you. I am your host, Tashani Wedlow. Welcome to Passion and Faith. And if you are new here, Passion and Faith, we interview passionate professionals. They talk about their respective fields. And the faith part is what keeps them grounded. It could be faith in a higher power. It could be faith in oneself. Whatever it is, it's what keeps them grounded and keeps them going, right? Boots on the ground. Today, we are speaking with Fernando Bermudez, a New Yorker. His story, just incredible, right? Wrongfully convicted. He served 18 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. And so I want to welcome you, of course, because you're watching, and I want to welcome you, more importantly, for being here with us. Yes. And just, I mean, you've been making it your duty since you've been out. 2009, this all went down. 1991. Wrongfully convicted. You weren't even where it happened. Just I want to fill people in as to what happened. There's a fight outside the Mark Ballroom.
Yes.
Nightclub back in the day, Union Square, filled with teenagers. You at the time, 22-year-old young man, you're riding around with your boys, looking for girls, preparing to go to college.
Yes.
How the hell do you get roped into this?
It began with one of the leading causes of how wrongful convictions happen, mistaken witness identification. It began just because of that. I had a marijuana arrest a year before, and my picture was in the mugshot books.
Yep.
And a young lady selected me, a teenager selected me.
Because she thought you were cute. That's
Yeah.
what I saw in the documentary.
That's how it started.
Mistaken identity, right? The description of the person that they claimed was responsible for this was way shorter than you, way smaller than you. I think it was 150 pounds. At the time, you were 230 pounds.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Yes. And much taller.
Much taller.
6'2".
So I want to actually, we have a clip of a documentary you sent us that you're looking to get distributed. So we're going to toss to that, and then we're going to come back and have Fernando respond. Take a look.
It was just like almost any other Saturday night. I was with several friends of mine celebrating my enrollment in college. 2 days later, I was arrested.
See, I'm not scared because I know that I'm not involved with this. And if justice is true, it'll prevail.
What goes through your mind when you see yourself?
I see the younger self about to go through a very serious situation that I never imagined would happen to me.
And still so, Matt, they could hear the audio, right? Yeah, and the whole time you're in prison, you still held on to the hope that justice, as you mentioned in that clip, justice will prevail. What do you think about the justice system?
That's all I had at the moment. I had the belief initially that as long as I stayed patient and told the truth, that things would work out, because I had faith in the American criminal justice system. Growing up in private schools, learning about it, and believing that if you told the truth, things would be okay. But I was sorely mistaken, and a rude awakening happened when I learned that the situation went from bad to worse.
So we all heard you say you grew up going to private school. Tell us a little bit more about your upbringing before that happened.
Well, it was a really fun time for me. I call it the age of innocence, in which I was in elementary school. I was collecting rocks, collecting insects. Yes, admittedly, then playing run, catch, and kiss throughout recess. But at the same time, I was just an innocent person. But I was taking an interest in the graffiti time period, the phenomenon that was going on. So for me, I started learning about the art of graffiti and started to draw and started to realize that I could express myself through graffiti, and that at that point became my name, which helped me prove my innocence, because it was not the person I was named as. So I never knew that my graffiti past would help my future in a criminal justice case.
And we're actually showing some of your pieces right now.
Yes.
Very talented, and you still draw to this day. Is that what got you through not only believing that you were innocent and holding on to that, right? That fact that you were innocent. But drawing, is that what got you through the 18 years? What got you through that?
Yes, it helped me. It was one of the methods that I used to, in one sense, manufacture hope when I felt no hope existed. And so I had to devise ways to help my mind become my best friend instead of my enemy. And so by art, I expressed myself, and I was able to draw, and I was able to sell my art inside to help sustain myself. And that became one of the ways, along with education, that became a stepping stone for what I felt would become an educational foundation for me to use, not only in prison, but outside of it.
So let's go back to August 4th, 1991. At the time in New York, the homicide rate was crazy. 2,000?
Each year.
Each year. Your situation happened 2 years after Central Park 5.
Yes.
Where they eventually were exonerated. Can you just kind of tell us what was going through your mind?
Well, at that time, it was a wild time in New York City. I mean, with over 2,000 homicides, I was seeing evidence of it. People were being shot throughout my neighborhood in Inwood, where I lived. And it was just a disturbing trend that was going on. But for me, I also got caught up in what was the rush to judgment and get tough on crime policies because of the homicide rate and the violence that was going on. And I got swept up not knowing that it would turn into a wrongful conviction situation. I thought it was a mistake that would be resolved. And it just went from bad to worse through procedures and occurrences that just made me start losing faith in the system.
And your attorney, I believe her name was Marianne.
The Barry.
Yeah, I mean, she really, really fought for you.
Yes. Yes, she was an amazing woman who became a lawyer in her late 40s. She was a former nun and then became an attorney, and I became her first client. She vouched for social justice after she had been arrested in Russia for teaching Christianity. And so she became my lawyer and began investigating the projects and everywhere else to demonstrate why the witnesses lied and were coerced and threatened into falsely testifying.
I mean, boots on the ground. The fact that, I mean, you mentioned the young woman who identified you.
Yes.
There were 4 alibi witnesses that basically said, your boys, your friends, that, hey, We were together. We were riding around. We were nowhere near this incident when this happened. There was no physical evidence. There was no forensic evidence that connected you to this crime. And yet, you got convicted to 23 years to life. Convicted of second-degree murder.
Yes.
And you only had a marijuana offense on your record. You go to prison.
Yeah.
Sing Sing.
Yeah, one of the places. One of the places. And
How'd you survive, Fernando?
I mean, it was just a horrible thing, just being thrust into that environment where I had to survive, and I had to now seek to find ways to not get in trouble, avoid trouble, not make any trouble, and just almost try to become invisible, but at the same time be ever present in my fight for my freedom and to prove my innocence. So I had to fight. I had to educate myself. I had to interact with people in a diplomatic way when talking was more important than fighting, and it was just a way that I was able to maneuver the system by educating myself. I even started selling clothes to find a way to become self-sufficient in prison.
Yeah, their life ripped away from you, but yet and still you were able to sustain some form of life. You ended up meeting a woman. You got married.
I did.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you were selling items to sustain yourself and also to sustain your family on the outside. Tell us more about that.
Yes, well, that was just a way that I developed by buying wholesale and retailing clothing. I could exchange it for commissary items in the prison store and then collect them in bulk and then send them home on a prison visit so that my wife at the time could collect them and then resell them or use them for herself without having to spend out of her own pocket. That became a 9-year operation that helped me survive and helped me feel good that I was providing for my children who were starting to be born throughout my incarceration.
Okay, so I'm assuming you had I can't think of the word, but you were able to have conjugal.
Conjugal
That's
visits.
the word.
Yes.
Conjugal visits with
Yes.
your wife
At the time,
at the time, and that's
Yeah.
how your children were.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
conceived.
Yes.
How many?
I had 2 children when I was incarcerated.
And how old are they now?
My daughter's 24, studying to become a lawyer.
How about that?
Yes, and
Right.
my son is 20, and he's a sophomore at High Point studying cybersecurity.
Now, disclaimer here. Fernando and I met through the Momentum Workshop. It's like a life workshop. And you were very passionate about telling your story and just really recovering from being behind bars for so long and what that stripped from you. For those that are watching on Instagram, we're actually going to shut down. If you like what you were hearing, head over to Fox 5 NY YouTube page and watch us live. We're going to continue the conversation. What did jail take from you?
Jail took from me precious years that I can never get back.
Prison, better yet.
Yes, exactly. The prison, the penitentiary, the system, the prison industrial complex sucked me into it at a time when the word mass incarceration was not even understood or used. And I became one of those numbers that accumulated to over 2 million people who were incarcerated, 5% of which experts still say are potentially wrongfully convicted in prison still. Out of
Yes.
the over 3,000, nearly 800 documented exonerations we've had since 1989.
So let's fast forward to 2009. After serving 18 years in prison, you are the first Latino man to be exonerated on the actual innocence grounds, citing police and prosecutorial misconduct.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Well, that was a legal precedence that developed as a result of my case. All the evidence we added up was so overwhelming that it proves my actual innocence in the first of its kind ruling at the time in New York State, particularly me being a Latino male, which allowed other people to use that case, and it set precedence in that was not ruled on before, and it created precedence to help other people who have similar claims and situations. It opened up an opportunity for more people to help prove their innocence in easier fashion.
In your case, I mean, it was all over. Court TV did something. All of the major New York stations did something. I mean, it was a national case. We actually did something here at Fox 5 when this whole thing happened, and we're showing you video right now, and they're saying, free Fernando.
Wow.
Bring him home. And there you are.
Look at that.
So young.
Wow. That was an important time. I had a lot of hope still. Wow.
Look at that face. And that was the mugshot.
Yes.
That convicted you.
Yes. That changed my life. I never knew that such an arrest would have such dire consequences. And it's a cautionary tale, in terms of what can happen if, you get any arrest. You're in the system now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would urge the youth to think twice about ever getting in trouble with the law, because it can lead to unintended consequences.
Well, one thing about us here at Passion and Faith is we love that when you guys ask us questions in the chat, we love to bring you in as if you're actually sitting here, like in this seat. So let's go to Allison. What reforms do you think are most urgently needed to prevent similar cases like this?
Well, I think greater accountability for prosecutorial misconduct. We need good prosecutors, of course, but we also have to hold the ones that flout the Constitution and the laws accountable, because human lives are at stake.
Whatever happened with the detectives that worked on this case and the prosecutors that worked on your case?
Well, prior to my exoneration, one of them had gotten arrested for drunk driving and possession of drugs, and in a driving incident in which two females were struck and hurt. And then he eventually came to court and testified. He apparently was still on the force, somehow made it out of that mess, and testified. And he was just, you could tell he was a troubled person who didn't even remember the facts of the case, and testified. And then the prosecutor, who was once so smug and adamant in his position against my innocence, now was also being questioned to the point where he turned red and didn't have the answers he thought he had.
All right, save that. So we'll stop you right there. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stick around.
Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water, let it flow. It's on your mind. 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 It's on your mind now. Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water. Let it say what's on your mind now. Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water. Let it flow. Why don't you say what's on your mind now? Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water, let it flow. You was stuck, that original. If you didn't know, they don't make them like you. No, not anymore. Give it all you got. Leave it on the floor. Ain't no holding back. When you in the mode. What are we saying? You ain't playing. PM to the AM. Put that work in, only way you getting on. If they asking what it is you really want, why don't you say what's on your mind now? Just let them know. You'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water. Let it say what's on your mind now.
I'm trying to be objective, but it's like you wouldn't wish this on your worst enemy. And during the commercial break, Fernando's brother is here with us, and he was reliving, the situation when the police knocked on your door, and he responded like, "You can't be looking for my brother. Mm-hmm. My brother's not a troublemaker." Yeah, and your mom and that whole situation.
Yeah, it tore us apart as a family. It immediately created a dysfunction which now put us on the brink of just not being able to operate correctly in happiness and productivity.
You were preparing to head off to college. What school were you accepted to, and what did you plan to study?
I had planned to attend Bronx County Community College, which was like not far from where I lived, and I was going to study male nursing, and I was hoping to advance from there.
And we know that, your whole life, the trajectory of it changed, but here we are. You're on the other side, turning pain into purpose. Now, you end up being exonerated, 2009, after 18 years behind bars.
Yes.
You receive at the time the largest settlement awarded by New York State. And we're showing the paper, free to play, after 18 years. Who was that? Is that your daughter?
That's my daughter. I was teaching her how to ride a bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's 24 now.
She's 24.
And your son, once you came out, you had already educated yourself.
Yes.
You got your degree while inside.
I started it inside, and then I completed it outside with my bachelor's degree at Mercy College.
And now I know something about you because I learned this from our Momentum workshop, and we praised you, which is you educated your son, right?
Yes.
You taught him, you kept him home, taught him.
I homeschooled him for 5 years.
Homeschooled him, yes.
Yes.
And now he is in college preparing to graduate.
Yes, he's working towards it. Yes.
Says a lot about you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about life on the outside now.
Hey.
Right?
Yes.
What's that been like? It's been a while.
Well,
But that
yeah.
smile, like, hey.
I mean, it's been a sweet 16 celebration after, in my 16th year of being free. It hasn't gone without its challenges. I never realized that post-traumatic stress disorder would haunt me. I thought that being home, being free, being happy would be the beginning of the end to healing. And I was surprised that post-traumatic stress disorder took its different forms, affected my family, created conflicts that I never thought existed, for which therapy was needed and for which cooperation never really got, the way it should have to help us be happier and together. And so it was a very productive situation, however, in which I realized that I needed to make the bad situation into a good one by being able to be productive, cold calling places, being self-supportive to support my family and earn money through public speaking.
You mentioned PTSD. Do you mind sharing a little more of that with us?
Sure. I mean, it was a very disturbing result in which I still felt I was in prison. When I came home, I still felt incarcerated. I realized that I wasn't incarcerated, but it still felt like it. And so I was having reactions to it. I was getting up in the middle of the night, pacing back and forth as if I was still living in a 6-by-9-foot cell. I didn't feel permission to have money. When I went outside to walk the family dog, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there, like I was being observed. Just any little thing just to put me back in prison. And it was a shocking situation for which I sought help. And then I realized that there was family conflict as well, like a tug of war that I came home to. I was like, wow, I'm in a tug of war. I understand people want to see me, people want to hang out, but I have to try to just be productive and stay out of trouble and not have conflict.
Let's talk about how you are traveling and speaking and sharing your story with people. The fact that you've spoken at almost every single Ivy League school in the country is just remarkable. Tell us more.
Well, for me, it's hopes and dreams that began in prison, beyond...
That was your goal when you were in prison?
Absolutely. I started realizing goals and hopes and dreams to just keep my sanity. I said, I'm going to do this one day, I'm going to do that or the other. And that was one of my goals. I began studying as much as I could, reading as many books as I could, and I just started imagining, just putting it all together into powerful lectures that would inspire and encourage people. And for me, it became a goal where now I'm finally going to reach in speaking at my 8th Ivy League school, which totals the total number this May, with my daughter at that. I will be speaking at the University of Pennsylvania Law School, and that will make the 8th Ivy League school. And it's going to be a pleasure to do it with my daughter, who is studying to become a lawyer. And it's a goal that's finally coming true, along with others.
And let's talk about the other goals, because you wrote a book about your story.
Yes.
We showed the clip from the documentary, which, I've only seen a tease, but you're working with some Congress folks, some folks from Washington.
Yes.
Tell us about how they're assisting you with getting your story out.
Yes, well, the Congressman Adriano Espaillat, he helped me with my case. He was one of the guys who, after the Free Fernando campaign, joined in and yelled Free Fernando as well.
Which was strong.
Yes, and so it helped. It helped along with other people, and we got involved. And since then, now he tells me that he wants to have a showing of the movie, of the film, at a public designated place so that people can see it. And so I'm doing that, but on particular, my book is something that took me over 10 years to write. I actually started while I was locked up, and I would actually write it after I left the prison yard before it became dark, where it became really dangerous, even though I would take a shower and rush and go start writing. And then when I came home, I lost the manuscript through some computer error, and I had to rewrite it all over again. And now today we finally finished it at over 139,000 words. And I'm just urging, I hope that the public can help me in achieving a literary agent so we can get the story out, which has many inspirations to share.
Fernando, how therapeutic was that for you to write your story? And can you tell us what the hardest part was?
Well, writing was a solitary undertaking. And in solitude, I got the comfort of knowing that I was doing something that was focused and goal-orientated.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can do it. I had to do it. It wasn't going to write itself. So that was a process that I enjoyed, and it was a development process in which the story kept unraveling and allowed me to dump some of the trauma that I had in a written form to serve as a testament, not just for my family history, but for the world to see how they can overcome adversity.
What was the hardest part? And this question's from Allison. What was the hardest part for you, pinning whatever that experience was that you were writing about to paper?
Well, it was hard reliving it, just detailing some occurrences that happened, such as being found guilty was hard. And I cried throughout that chapter, just writing it and imagining the description that I had to put out and how I remembered it. And so it was difficult in that process. And then I was a family man who came home with responsibilities, and I just didn't have the time always to write because I was so busy trying to lecture and take my kids to school and just be a family man. But we finally got it done, and we're ready.
Finally got it done. We got 3 minutes left, so I want you to tell folks how they can find you, whether it be them trying to hire you to speak to the youth or coming to a workshop or perhaps maybe being on their podcast. How can people find you, Fernando?
Well, they could check me out on my social media at Free Fernando Bermudez, at Free Fernando Bermudez, and you could check me out there and we could connect that way. I'm in the process of continuing to speak at different places. You could connect through the Innocence Project or representjustice.org, both of great organizations that help to reform the criminal justice system, and they've worked well with me. And you could reach out to me maybe through the station, but at Fernando Bermudez Free, if you DM me, I'll be happy to oblige and connect.
Allison, do you mind handing me that little black book? I want to end our segment with you opening. It's a black book of affirmations. Do you see it in that bin? It's a little black bag. There we go. Yep. Allison, hey, this is Allison, guys.
Hey.
And I want you to open it to one page and read what it says and tell us what it means to you as we close out this episode of Passion and Faith. Just one page, yep.
Just read anyone.
Just one page, yep.
It says God delivers.
What's that mean for you?
God delivers in many ways, through the faith that I had from chapter 11, Hebrews in the Bible, and having the faith to reject a plea bargain, to having faith that out of a peculiar situation, there would be a peculiar outcome. And the ability to share my story in ways that I never imagined, not only to help others, but to help me have a meaning and purpose in my life out of such a difficult situation where many times I couldn't make sense of it. It was so incongruous.
All right. Well, with that, that's a perfect place to end this. Thank you so much, Fernando, for joining us. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into Passion and Faith. You can find me Monday through Friday, every weekday, 4:30 to 7 on Good Day New York, Channel 5 if you're in the New York area. And we'll see you next Thursday for another episode of Passion and Faith. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let 'em know you'll regret it if you don't. Gotta say what's on your mind now. Just let it go. Get your thought out like it's water, let it flow. If they draw the line, then you make a stand. If they standing still, show them how to dance. Put your name on it, that right there's a monogram. Got one life to live. Go